Hi and welcome. Tonight this is the part 1 of the altered fairy clock, and we're going to be making all the flowers using Cherry Lynn dies. And the dies that I'm going to be using tonight are the gardenia strip, the stacker flower number 6, stacker flower number 5, the tiny fanciful flourish left and right, the stacker flower leaf, that's a leaf, and of course the sweet Christine, we have to use that one, and I have the mini rose, and this is the flourish leaf strip. You can get all these dies from Christine on her blog, and right now she is giving away, if you buy the kit, you get 1 die free, and you'll have to go and look. It's only until she's offering the free die, only until my class is over. When my class is over, you can't get it anymore, the free dies. Okay, she's got 2 kits up for so you guys can pick and choose. So let's get started, and let's see, which one should I start? Should I start with the vintage rose? Hi Lori. I'm going to move these off to the side real quick here. So we're going to start with the vintage rose, and for this one I used hang on, let me get it, the stacker flower 6. And it looks like this. And these are nice big flowers, and they're gorgeous. I loved playing with these stacker flowers. And you'll probably see me using them an awful lot. So let me get my stacker flowers out. And we are going to make this one. So let me move this. And you'll need an embossing tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over. We're going to start on the back side embossing. And you're going to start right in the middle of the petal. And you're going to just go down one side like this. And you're going to put a nice pressure on it so the edge of the paper kind of wrinkles a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. If I can get it in the right angle. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. No. So I'm just maybe when I do a darker color, you guys will be able to see this. So I'm just starting, and I'm just doing one side. So I'm working on the right side of the petal, on the back, and I'm just doing the one side. And you want some nice pressure, and your flower petals should curl up like exactly what they're doing to me. That's what they're supposed to do, just like this. Let me get this last one. Okay, so I got all the petals embossed on the right side of each of the flower petals. So now I'm going to flip it over. Okay, and now on the right side again, and it's going to be the opposite side that you just embossed. I'm going to do it on this side, and I'm going to bring it to a heart. So you're just going to connect. It's going to look like a heart, like you embossed a heart on the leaf petal. So you're going to go out and around, down, and connect in the middle. Start in the middle, go down. And like I said, you want to do some really good pressure because you want the edge of the petals to kind of wrinkle just a little bit. So there's the first one. Oh, geez. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the flower in between my thumb and my middle finger. And I'm going to take and the direction that you emboss. So this side of the petal is going down. This side of the petal is actually curled up. So now I'm just going to give it a little twist and a kind of a pinch all the way around. So you're going to push this side up and this edge of the petal down, and it should look like that. Kind of almost like a pinwheel. Okay? So we're going to do another one. We're going to flip it over, and this we're going to do opposite. So I embossed on the right side. Now we're going to do the embossing on the left side for this one. So I'm going to start on the left side and do the same thing. All the way down. Kind of like making a half a heart. Just like that. And then I'm going to flip it over again. And now we're back on the left side again. And we're going to connect them. Just like that. So you're going to connect the one embossing line with the other one at the bottom. So then it cups your leaves just a little bit. So here we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab it and I'm just going to twist it and kind of pinch it a little bit. It's really super easy. And once you get the hang of it, and then keep your petals lined up. So that'll be your bottom layer, the next layer. So now we're going to go back to embossing on the right side. We're going to flip our flower over and start on the back. And like I said, nice heavy pressure, because you want the edges of your flower petal to kind of wrinkle. Last one over here. And same thing, flip it over. Do the same thing on the other side. Really super easy. Once you practice this, it gets easier and you can do it faster. I'm obviously slowed down so you guys can see what I'm doing, and now I'm just pinching and kind of twisting the petals. Just like that. So your flower should look like this. No, it's super easy. No, this is just, yeah, it's double-sided. What do you mean double-sided? It's just cardstock. So that'll be my next one. Let's see, how many layers do I have on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we got 3. We got 2 more we got to do. So let me move these ones out of the way. I'll just flip these over. So this one we started on the right. You're going to start this one on the left, alternating each time you do one of these flowers. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to flip it over. And here again, we're embossing on the left side and connecting at the bottom, making like a point on a heart. And then you're going to pick it up and you're going to pinch and twist, pinch and twist, pinch and twist, pinch and twist, pinch and twist. So that's my next layer. I have one more layer, and this is going to be our center. So that one we started on the left. This one we're starting on the right. We're going to do the right side first. Go all the way around, just like this. We're going to flip it over. Yep, I'm just showing you a different way to use this die. Probably something that you haven't thought to use the die for. If you do have it, you can make the little vintage rose. And last one, and we're going to do our pinch and twist, pinch and twist, pinch and twist, pinch and twist. And for this one, we're actually going to run your embossing tool around in a circle in the middle to bring this up in the center like this. And for this one, I'm just going to do a few because this is going to fit inside just like this. And then as you're going down these petals, you're not going to cup them as much. So I went around twice on that one, or 3 times. This one's going to get twice. And this one's going to get just 1. Whoops. As I shoot it across the room. So let me put these back in order here, so I know which order I'm doing them. So normally what I do is I start with the center of the flower first. And to keep this so it kind of stays together and makes the center, I'm just going to rearrange some petals here. There. I want it to look like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glossy accents. I got to make sure I got a unclogged glossy accents before I do this. And I'm just going to open up a petal and I'm just going to run some glue because you don't want this to open. So I'm running the glue all the way up, but I'm not getting the top of the petal. And I'm just going to pinch it and hold it. So it adheres. And we're just going to go around and keep gluing. So they stay, so it stays kind of in position. This petal doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. I think I got it now. And you can do adjustments as needed. Let me get this one. And we're going to get these three right here, right in a row. Just going to stick some glue in there and make them stick. And I'm just going to set this down. Sometimes setting it down on a flat surface helps you to get that shape right. And it doesn't have to be perfect because in nature flowers are never perfect. They look like it, but they're not. That's the beauty of them. And then once you have it, where you know it's not going to come apart, you can let it go, set it off to the side. Now we're going to start with the bottom layer, which was up there. And I'm just going to put some glue in the center, alternate my petals. And I always have, this is actually a skewer. I use that just to press in the middle because then you get a nice flower shape. And then from there on, I'm just going to put the glue on the back of each of the layers that I'm putting on. And just shimmy that right down into the center. Making sure you're alternating your petals. Get your skewer, or even the end of a paintbrush will work, and really give it a good press. And each flower you make is going to turn out different, just so you know. So don't be like, oh, that doesn't look like the one she did. Everybody's flowers are going to look different. Even this one is going to look different than the one I've already made. Okay. Now I'm just going to add my center. And just let it sit there for a minute so the glue can adhere. So see, this one, although I did it exactly the same, looks different. Okay. So then we're going to add the leaf, which I have one that I haven't embossed yet, and I just wanted to show you really quick how to do this with this leaf. And I like it because it looks like this when you're done, and it looks kind of real. So what I do is I flip the leaf part over, and here again I'm running it, oops, wrong end, I'm running it along the edge on both sides of the leaf, and that gets the edge nice and curled so it looks almost like a real leaf. And now in these little sections here, I am just going to run my embossing tool in little circles. And it'll look like this. It adds dimension. So here again, you're going to run it along the edge first. And you want some good pressure here again because you want the edge to kind of pucker a little bit, or curl, wrinkle, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just in little circles. So there's that one. Okay, and we have one more. And I'm running it along the edge using some pretty good pressure. You don't want to rip the paper, but you want to add some pretty good pressure to it so it does that little wrinkly thing. So that's what it looks like. It's all like bent down. So I'm just going to lay it, and I'm just going to run my embossing tool around it twice in the center, so that kind of lays it flat. And then the next step that I do is I'm going to take my skewer and I'm just going to run it up. You're just going to stick your thumb on top of the leaf, light pressure, and let it run up. It'll give it a nice little curl. Kind of like when you do ribbon curls on packages. It's the same thing. And I'm just going to hit it in the center just one more time so it'll lay flat. Now I'm going to add just a touch of brown on the edge of the leaves because I like how it looks. It looks kind of vintage. I'm using the little vintage photo. So I'm just going to take it and lightly add a touch of brown along the edge and the tip of the leaf. So there you go. So now we're going to add the leaf to the bottom of our flower. Let me get my glue. Okay. And I'm just going to line it up. I'm just making sure that each part of the leaf is kind of sticking out. And I'm just going to press down on it and hold it there for a few seconds. Just like that. Oops, it didn't stick. Alright, we're going to have to play here. You know what I need? I'm using an awl. I'm going to go in there and just kind of see if I can put some pressure on it. Whoops. a little pressure on it. Let's see. Okay, now it's stuck on there. Okay, so then our next step is I'm using the flourish leaf strip. And to emboss these, let me get this out of the way. All I do is I take my embossing tool and I just press. Just to cup the leaf a little bit. I press in the center and around the edge. And I just kind of press on it lightly. You don't want it to curl completely up, but I just press lightly on the stem where the leaves connect to the stem. So let me do this one real quick. So you're just gonna, like I said, just put a nice little amount of pressure on there to make the leaves cup a little. This adds a lot of dimension. And then I'm just going to add, just press lightly where the leaves connect to the stem so it curls up. So now we're going to add these to the bottom. I'm just going to figure out where I want to add them first. Let's put this one on that side and this one on that side. I like that. So I'm just going to add some glue. Where did I put my glue? Hi, Lisa. Oh. All right. So this time I'm using the Beacon 3-in-1 to add these leaves on here, because it's kind of tricky sometimes. So I'm just doing some minor adjusting. I'm trying to bring the leaves up above so it looks like they're kind of sticking out a little bit. And let me put a little bit of glue on this one. Who else did I miss? Hi, Kaina. Did I say your name right? I've been practicing. I hope I said it right. Okay. So there are the two flourish leaves. So then my next step, and you will see where I'm going with this. My next step is using the Tiny Fanciful Flourish, the left and the right. And here again, all these dies are available on Christine's website, and that is because every picture has a story to tell, all one word, .blogspot.com. She has a kit up, and if you purchase one of the kits tonight before my show ends, you will get a free die. So I'm just, here again, putting some pressure on the leaves and lightly putting some pressure on the flourish part. I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to press down in the center of the leaf. Coupling them just a little bit, which adds a little bit of dimension. And I'm just putting light pressure on the stem part. So these ones, I think I'm going to put one up here. And here again, I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 to glue these, because I really want them to stick. What? I think I'm going to put this one on, yeah, this side. Giving it a good little press. And I'm going to put this one on the other side. Or maybe down here. Should I put it down here? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put one down here just like that. So that's what it looks like now. Oh, there's my, let's see. Hi, Cindy. This is actually, I'll show you what this is. This is actually a close to my heart. It's a cutting guide mat, but on the back of it, it's foam. You can see I really messed this up. It's foam, and that's what I use to emboss. And this is so old, but I love it because it's 12 by 12, and it's a good size to do flowers on. But yes, you can use a mouse pad, or just go to the hardware store and get a piece of foam like this. It's real dense foam. That also works too. Okay, so on to our next flower. Oh, before I do that, does anybody have any questions on this one? Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to put those two off to the side. We are going to make this, and this is using the gardenia die. You can't see it. There we go. This is using the gardenia die, and it kind of looks like a gardenia, but I do mine just a little bit different. I know Christine showed you guys how to make the gardenia flower a while ago. So I'm going to make a blue one. So let me show you what I do. First off, there are like fold lines on the whole petals, and there is 3 whole flowers, and then there is 2, one with 5 petals, one with 4 petals, and they're like half flowers. Okay, so for the whole flowers, there's like these lines, and what I do is I don't cut all the way to the center. I cut maybe 1/4 of an inch away from the center, and I go around and I cut all these lines. And I'm going to do it on all 3. Just checking the chat, sorry. Making sure I didn't miss anything. So I'm just snipping all of those. And last one, you're not going to snip the half flower ones. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to flip over all of our flowers because we are going to emboss them on the back. And all I'm going to do is here again make a heart shape to emboss them. So basically use your embossing tool to make a heart. Oops, there we go. Oh, sure. I didn't cut, there's like a 1/4 of an inch. I don't know if you can see that. My light's really bright. Let me bend one of the petals down. Here's the center. So I cut in about almost, I left about a 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And you don't have to be perfect. Can you see that? See if I can. See, the closer I get to my camera, the brighter my light is. Yes, this is my version. I just want to let you know, no flowers were harmed in my version, I promise. Unless you snip them in half. Please don't snip your flowers in half. Save the flower. So I'm just going to run in a circle in the center. And then I'm going to pick up and I'm just going to give it a little pinch and a twist. 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 And I'm going to twist them, pinch and twist one way for this layer. And I'll show you on the next layer, I'm actually going to go the opposite direction. So here again, I'm on the back side of the flower. And I'm going to emboss a heart shape onto the petal. And it is a heart shape. If you were here, you could actually see the heart. But Ustream doesn't let me have very good quality, although I have an HD camera. So I went all the way around, all the petals, heart shape, embossed a heart shape on the back side. Now I'm going to flip it over. Run your embossing tool in a circle in the center of the flower several times. And now for this one, I bent the petal down this way. So for this one, I'm actually going to go the opposite way. I'm going to twist and kind of pinch it. And this is how you get the flowers to become really dimensional. So here we go again on the third whole flower. We're going to emboss the heart shape that. It's like that. And when you're at home, I'm doing this so you guys can see what I'm doing. You can do this a lot faster than what I'm doing. I'm just kind of slowed it down for demonstration reasons. And then we're going to go around in a circle a couple times in the center. So we went down on this side, down on the opposite end, so we're going to go back to twisting it this way. So there are my 3 whole. So here is the 5 petal, and we are going to do the same thing. We're going to flip it over on the back, and for each petal I'm embossing a heart shape, starting in the center of the petal where the point is. There's a little point. That's where you want to start your heart and go out. So it's kind of a fat heart. And then for this one, I am going to emboss along this inner edge, and it will cup up just like that. So this one we went down on the right side, so we're going to go down on the left and twist. And it's a little bit harder with this one because you don't snip the petals, so it's just basically a little bit of a twist and folding the edge of the petal down. So it kind of looks like that. It looks kind of weird. Yep, I'm gonna embellish a clock, my fairy clock, next Sunday. And that's where all these flowers are going to go on that I'm showing you how to make. So here again, this is the last petal for this, and this has 4 petals on this flower. And same thing on the back side. Start in the center, make a fat heart. Do that to each one. Just like that. Flip it over, and we're going to emboss along the inner edge here, just so we can get a nice little cupping going on. And this time we're going to twist, we're going to bend this end down and twist up. Just like that. So, to make the center, and this is the 4 petals, you will need something smaller than like a skewer or a paintbrush. I have what is called an awl. You can use this. A really skinny paintbrush handle would work too. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to start curling. Actually, I'm going to start on this end. Sorry. It's easier for me to start on this end. And I'm just going to keep twisting it around and around real tight, because remember, this is our center. Keep going all the way around. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of an adjustment here because I didn't like how that turned out. And if it doesn't turn out right the first time, you can keep playing with it till you can get it so it'll turn out the way you want it. Okay, that's better. And you're just going to put a little bit of glue. Get my right on that edge here. And pinch it closed. So I'm just pinching it closed. I can actually do these fairly fast. I got used to making them, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, it does... They are kind of time consuming. But they're well worth it because it's something you made. Okay, so I'm using the 5-petal flower. And now we're going to wrap it around and I'm actually going to glue this edge down because otherwise it's going to slip on you. So let's put a little bit of glue right on this edge. And I'm going to position the petals so it's kind of alternated. I'm just going to hold it here for just a second before I start twisting it. And I'm just going around and around and around, just like that. And I am just going to put a little bit more on my end petal there. And this is where I kind of will take some of these petals and just kind of fold them out. Oops. Probably should have waited till it was done setting up a little bit. But I'm just bending some of the edges of the petals out. Kind of wrinkling them up a little bit. You kind of want to play with them. Just give them a little pinch. That's all. Okay. So I'm going to set that the center to the side. And we're going to start gluing. So I'm starting with the bottom petal. And this is the whole flower. Sticking some glue in the center. We're going to alternate the petals. Press in the center. And sometimes when I press, I'll even push the petals up. I'm putting the glue on the back of this one. And we're going to alternate petals. And I'm just going to stick this down inside and press. And with them being cut the way we cut them, I can now maneuver these petals around just a little bit more to give some more dimension. And now we're going to put the center in. So you're just going to put some glue on this bottom. That was quite a bit glue. Don't put that much glue. and just kind of place it in the center. And there's your gardenia. Let's see. I'll put it in this hand and kind of shade the light so you guys can see it. Oh, can you please make another center? Sure. I will make another center for you. Just the center? I can do that. Let me grab 2 more center pieces. You're going to flip them over. You can emboss your heart on the back. Flip it over. Emboss along that center circle or half circle. Pinch and twist all the way around. Same thing for the 5 petal. I'm going to do that. Flip it over, emboss along the edge of that half circle, just so you can get a little cupping effect. And we went down on that end, so I'm going to twist it the opposite direction. Okay, so starting with the 4 petal, you are going to take something skinny and you're going to wrap it really tight. So you're going to kind of want to pull it and then lay it down. Pull it and then lay it down and keep going all the way till you get to the end. And then you're going to take it off, just like that. So there's my center. I have to glue it. And here is where I can usually bend out the outside petals just to give it a little bit of a dimension. I'll shade that light. And I'm still holding it. Okay, so now that I've got that centerpiece done, you're going to take the 5 petal one. You're going to start on one end, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here. Along the side, you're going to kind of line it up between the 2 petals, and we're going to hold it on the one side, just like that. Now we're going to go all the way around, just twist it. Oops. And it fell off. Hang on. I should have waited just a few more minutes. We got to get it to adhere. Or set up, I should say. I'm just going to hold it. We're going to twist it all the way around. Make sure you got it nice and tight. Keep going all the way around till you get to the end. And then you got to glue it. So once you glue it, you're just going to sit there and pinch it for a minute. And while you're pinching it, you could be bending out some petals so it gets a little bit of dimension. And sometimes I'll even take it and pinch the one side in. I gotta bend this one out. And sometimes you need a pair of tweezers. There we go. I got it. Bend this one out. So there's my center. You're welcome. These are super easy. And here again, I'm going to repeat myself again. If you need these dies, Christine has them up on her website in kits. And if you purchase them before the class is over, you get one free die. Okay, so we made the peony. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. See, and they always look different. 2 different peonies. That's just how it happens. So we made the vintage roses. Now let's make a cabbage rose. Okay? So for this one, let's see, we are going to need see what I have over here. Oh, here we go. I had the wrong. I gotta grab this one. This die is the Stacker Flower 5. So it's this one. And if you look over, the petals are slightly different than the Stacker Flower 6. Show you. Well, and they're expensive to buy, but if you get the Cherry Lynn dies, they're cheap to make and they're super easy. I promise you, easy peasy. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flowers. 7 flowers. We are going to flip them all over because we are going to emboss. You'll see what I'm doing in just a minute. Let me get these flipped over. Just going to move these off to the side just a wee bit and get this one front and center. This is actually going to be folding up this way, so you want the nice side, that's what I call it, on the outside, because as you fold it up, this part is the part that's going to be showing. So what I do is here again, here I am with the heart, and this one's a long, skinny heart, and then you're going to go right down the center. You're going to divide that heart right in half. So you're going to go around and down, make a long, like a primitive heart, and you're going to go right down the center and divide that heart right in half. Long, skinny heart, and divide divide the heart right down in half. Long skinny heart. And then we're going to divide the flower. See how it's curling up? Down. Make your long heart down the center of the heart. You're going to do this with all your petals. Oh, that one didn't curl up as nice. There we go. You make sure you're going to go all the way down to the edge right here. When your point of your heart should be down here when you do this. So long skinny heart, long skinny heart, and then we're going to divide the heart right in half. Long skinny heart, long skinny heart, and right down the center. Long skinny heart, long skinny heart, right down the center. So you can see how that looks. So it's going to kind of cup up just like that. Okay. Why? What's wrong? Hang on, Bob. Give me the phone. Christine's calling me, you guys. I don't know why.
Nobody can see you. It's Christine.
Nobody can see me? Oh, no, wait. Kristen just said I'm back. You guys, if okay, now you're back. Christine's on the phone telling me you guys could not see. Don't worry, I'm going to do it again. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. All right, bye. Okay. So, I just made this center and you all missed it. Can everybody see me? You don't see me. Okay. You still have a black screen. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so you can hear me. Alright, why don't you guys try to refresh? Can you refresh? Let's see. No, you still can't see me. Only some. Okay. Some of you can see me and some of you can't. I cannot figure this out. I don't understand. And I disappeared again. Sometimes you have to refresh a few times. I will wait. No, he doesn't think you're nuts. Okay, you guys want me to refresh? Okay, so let me stop recording. So this is going to be a two-part series, I guess. Okay, I am back. Hopefully everything is working for everybody again. We are having Ustream issues. Bye, Kaina. Okay, can you guys see me yet? You may have to refresh because I did go out and come back in. Black screen. Oh, Ustream is so frustrating. Okay, Carolyn can hear me and see me. Who all can hear me and see me? Okay, Cindy's got me. Bonnie, is that a yes? You can hear me and see me? Okay, we have a few people going in and coming back out. Black screen. Oh, Lisa, I am so sorry. Of course, it's not my fault. It's Ustream, but I just feel bad because I know you wanted to see this. Well, okay, this does record and there is no black screen, so you guys can always go and watch the recording. Okay, hopefully maybe it'll correct itself as I move on. Okay, so I made the center for the cabbage rows, and here again we're gonna flip over your flower. You're going to do a long heart, like a primitive heart, all the way down, and then we're going to go emboss straight down in the center and split the heart in two. Long heart, straight down the center, split the heart in two. Long heart, long heart, and split. And long heart again, and split down the center. Now I'm out completely. Okay. You guys, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm going to keep recording because you guys can go back and watch the recording. There won't be a blackout on the recording. Okay? So I cupped it up, and this one, we don't want it too tight, but we want it nice and tight because this one has to go inside that one. So I'm on to my next one. We're going to do the same thing. Go. Make your long heart. Split down the middle. Long heart, 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 split down the middle. That sounds evil when I say that. I don't mean to sound evil. Split that heart in half. No. I curse you with a split heart now. It's alright. And this one we're just going to open up because it's automatically going to curl up. So you just kind of want to open it up just a wee bit more than the last one we did. And we're just going to keep going. Emboss, emboss, emboss until we get to the last two. We're not going to split the heart down the middle. You're just going to emboss by just doing the long heart and foregoing embossing straight down the middle of the petal. And you can actually do this with the stacker flower number 5 and the number 6. The 5 will give you a much fuller looking flower. I want my mommy. Aww. And then we're just going to kind of play with the petals. I just need to get them to curl just a wee bit more. Okay, so then this will be the next one, and we're going to do the next one in line. And this one, we're just going to start, and we're not going to split it down the middle. We're just going to do the heart. Real quick. Just like that. Super quick. Nothing. I know. So we're going to set that one aside, and I'm just going to run just a little bit in the middle, around, emboss in the center, just a smidge. This is a slightly bigger cup. And now the last two, we're just going to emboss the top half of the heart, the little heart shape at the top, but we're not going to connect the bottom. You're going to leave the bottom open. And you're not going to go all the way down. You're only going to go about halfway down the petal. And we're just going to go all the way around. And that, okay, so we have one more. And here again, we're not connecting the heart. At the bottom and making the point. We're just going halfway down the petal and stopping. If you're wondering why I have one extra petal sitting out, we may use it depending on what it looks like once we put these ones together. So always cut out an extra when you're making the cabbage roses, because sometimes you just to add that extra layer at the bottom, it just does a lot. So now I'm just going to take the bottom layer ones and I'm just going to pinch them at the top, kind of cupping them in all the way around. I gotta do that to this one. Just pinch. And now, when we're done with this, we're gonna start putting this cabbage rose together. Okay. And then for these ones, I just like to give the petals just a little bit of a curl. So I'll just go in and I'll grab a couple at a time and just give them a little bit of a curl along the tips here. And then just kind of squish them. Doesn't that sound terrible? Squish them. Mash them together. That's what Bonnie would say. Mash them together. You will be able to watch the recording to learn how to make these. There won't be a blackout on the recording. I promise. And I'm just going to squish it. Squishy, squishy. We're going to do the same one with... I'm just curling the tips of the flower petals inward. And I'm just grabbing two at a time and doing it. You want it to be kind of messy. And I'm just bunching it up and squishing it. Okay, so now let's start with our bottom petal and glue it. So I'm just going to run. Of course, I got to unclog my glue. Oh, Carolyn has me. I see that. Okay, so I'm just going to run a little bit of glue around the center. Alternate your petals. And get your skewer or your end of a paintbrush. Just kind of cup it up, and then we're just going to kind of play with the petals. Okay, so this is my next one, and I'm just going to put some glue on the bottom of my petal here. Whoops, I'm out of frame. I am so sorry. I just put a little glue on the bottom of the petal, and I'm going to find a petal and line it up just like that. Get in line. This is giving me a hard time. We're gonna get it. We are gonna get it. Okay. I don't like to use my finger in case I get glue on it. And you can see it's starting to form. So I'm going to add some more glue on the bottom of my next petal here. And I'm just going to open it up because we can fix it as soon as we get all of our petals in. And we're going to poke it. And then we have this one. So all you have to do is make sure each one of your flowers have a different size opening in the center. You're going to go from the largest to the smallest. Oops. And don't worry if you got to open up your cabbage rows to squeeze these in. Okay, so for the last two, so now we have the center, which I'm going to glue the petals together. And I'm just running a little bit of glue along the bottom of the petal, and I'm just going to hold it in place, and I'm actually going to put it down so it does what it needs to do and stays centered. Okay, so I'm going to glue 2 more petals down. You're just going to go around and gently do this. This is probably the most, I think, time-consuming part, is getting the centers. But once you get it, it'll go. It goes faster. We just got to get it to kind of tack in place. That's all we got to do. If it's a little loose, it doesn't have to be like super tight or anything. You just want it to be kind of tacked in place. If it opens up a little bit, it's okay. You just don't want like 2 petals like this side just did to open, because that causes it to look funny. Okay, so there's my center. And I'm actually going to pop it right in the middle of this, right here. So I opened it up just a wee bit. I'm going to put some glue along the bottom, in the center, and along each one of the bottoms of the petals, just so you make sure you get them stuck in there good. So I'm just going to focus on a petal here so I can alternate them and make sure it's centered. And I'm just going to give that a pinch right around it. And we're just going to let that set up for just a minute. See, I told you to come back. And then we're just going to stick some glue on the bottom of this and pop it in the center. Just like that. Voila! Cabbage rose. Okay, so here's the 2. This one is actually made with the Stacker Flower 6. I made this one with the Stacker Flower 5. So you can see how versatile the 2 dies are, because this rose was made with the Stacker Flower 5. This rose was made with the Stacker Flower 6. So you get 2 different looks from 2 different dies. It's amazing. I just love these Stacker flowers. Okay, so now we're going to work on our little minis. I'm going to show you guys how to make our little minis, because the minis, we're actually, with these leaves that stick off the bigger flowers, we're actually going to attach, I don't know if you guys can see that, you're going to attach these little minis right onto the edges, so it looks like kind of like a rosy bush. So this one is using the mini rose, and it has rounded petals. Okay, so I'm going to grab 6. Let's see, what color do I want? I'm going to do a pink one. Oh, here. This is actually a darker pink, but it's going to work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this one, it's the same as the cabbage rose. We're going to flip all of our petals over. And you're just going to, instead of doing a heart, just do like a U shape right along the edge of the petal. And then straight down the middle. And straight down the middle. And yes, you are working with a tiny flower, but this already shapes it. If you can emboss it like this, it's super easy to assemble it because you really don't have to do a lot of gluing except, like fussy gluing. I'm just going to tack this. This is the bud. And I'm just going to tack it right now. This is kind of how I work anyway. I'll emboss it, and then if it's the bud, I make the bud right away. So I'm just going to tack, I tacked one on that side, and I'm just going to tack one on this one with some glue. Super quick. So that bud was super easy to make. Only because I did all the embossing that I did all the work, basically. So now we're going to do this again. And this is going to be our next flower. Oops. Don't forget to go down the center. I'm just going to do like a U shape around the petal and then go down the center. A U shape around the petal and go down the center. And it should cup up just like that. See how? Well, you probably can't see. Here. Oops. Can you guys see that? I promise I will take pictures of all these flowers. So same thing, we're gonna do the U shape along the top of the petal and go straight down to the center of the flower, all the way to the center of the actual center of the flower. So go straight down the petals, I should say, middle of the petal. So U, and then straight down. U, and then straight down. So there's another one. This one's actually tighter, and sometimes you're going to move your flowers around. So this will be where the bud's going to go into, and then the next one. So the last three, we're actually going to do the U, but we're not going to go straight down the center because these are our outside petals. So we want our mini cabbage flower to look open. So we're just doing the U, and then you're just going to pinch it a little bit. we got that one, and we're going to do this one. Just the U. Last 3 petals. Don't go straight down the middle. Just do the U. Here's our next one. And I go twice. If you noticed, I go around and then back around. Around, back around. Around, back around. Ooh, coffee sounds good. Don't be talking about coffee. I live on coffee. Okay, so let's assemble our flower. So here's the bottom layer, and this is the next layer. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And you're going to alternate your petals. This is the tough part, is getting these little tiny ones assembled. I'm not gonna lie. So here again, grab your paintbrush and give it a little bit of a poke in the center. And I think what I'm going to do is actually put the glue, I think it might be easier to put the glue in the center of the flower and then add, you guys probably can't even see because this is so tiny. Once you get the 2 together, it actually gets easier assembling these tiny flowers. I don't know why. It's the strangest thing. So I'm just putting a little dab of glue in the center. Going for my next layer. Alternating petals. And you can just, if you need to, like this just twisted on me, so I need to adjust it. Sometimes having like a little needle when you're working with these tiny flowers handy, it helps. So I'm just taking this and kind of bending my flowers petals in. Okay, so for my bud, I'm actually going to put, I always assemble the last 2 pieces, which is basically the bud and then the outer edge of the bud. And what I do is I actually assemble these before I actually put it into the flower. It just makes it easier. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the center. And we're going to put our last part of this flower. We're going to pop it right in there. And then we're just going to play with the outer 2, the bottom 2 layers. Just trying to open up the flower just a wee bit. And voila! And like I said, you're going to want to play with these just a little bit more, but you get the gist. And you can also do this. This is using the Sweet Christine. And let me grab a Sweet Christine petal. I don't have any blue ones. We're going to have to make a pink one. So this one is 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to need 5 of the Sweet Christines. Oops. And here again, you're going to flip all your flowers over. And again, you're going to draw your heart on the back and draw a line down the center. And the petals, what's really cool is the petals on the Sweet Christine are already kind of like a heart shaped. So it just kind of works out when you're making a heart. Okay, so that's our bud. Just gonna pinch it. And this is going to be the outer part of the bud. Okay. And we're just going to do that. Remember the last 3, you don't want to make the line down the center. You just want to do the top part of the heart, the hump part, and leave it open. Just the hump. How did I jump over to that petal? Hump. And super easy. Oh my gosh, I've taken so long. It's almost 10 o'clock. I think that clock's wrong. You guys still alive? No. Yeah, it is almost 10 o'clock. I only have one more flower to show you. Okay, so we're going to assemble. So I started with the bottom layer, and you're going to work your way to the center. Alternate petals. What's really cool is these smaller flowers actually have a hole for you to use a brad to assemble them. And that's how I can line these up right in the center. I use that hole. I just prefer to glue them. I think a brad is a little harder to make this type of flower if you had a brad in the center. Pinch them in the center. Okay, so now what we have left is the bud, and I'm just gonna glue the outer 2 petals to close the bud up to make a nice little tight bud. And since the class is almost over, I'm just going to remind you that if you want the free die, you got to go over to Christine's blog and purchase one of the kits. and you will get a free die, and you got to do it before my class runs out, before the end of class. So we're just going to pop this in the center of our last piece and pinch it just like that, and then we're just going to glue it right into the center of the rest of our flower. Super easy. Oh, you got to go to, I forgot to say the link, because every picture has a story to tell.blogspot.com. She always has the dies available, but if you want the free dies, you gotta go and get them tonight. So there is another little flower. Oops. Okay, so one last flower, and that is the teeny tiny gardenia. And I used the rose, the mini rose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I used 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, I did use 6. Okay. So for this one, I actually didn't do any embossing. For this one, I'm going to fold this petal, this side of the petal down, and pull this side of the petal up, kind of in a twisty motion, and pinch. This side down, and that side up. And that side down, and this side up. Oops, I still got one more. It's getting late, I'm forgetting things. Okay. So now I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to go down and down on the opposite direction. And then we're going to go the other direction again. And you're going to kind of twist and pinch. Twist and pinch. Twist and pinch. And now we're going to go the other direction again, and you're just going to keep doing this until you get all 6 of these flowers done. So twist, pinch, twist, pinch, and make sure you hold the edge of your petal when you do that, otherwise you'll rip your petal off. So I'm going the opposite direction again. Okay, so the only thing we're going to be doing is embossing the centers. Just like that. So now we got to make our center. So I'm just going to pinch all the flower petals together. Kind of wiggle them around. There we go. Till they look right. And then I'm just going to glue. So I do one side, and then I'm going to go over to the other side and do the same. And just kind of pinch them all together, scrunch them all together. And I'm just kind of folding out the petals just a wee bit. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the center, and we're going to stick the petal in. And give it a push. Next layer. Alternating petals. Don't forget to alternate your petals, otherwise it's not going to look like a flower. And I'm just going to push them petals up. Okay, next layer. We're just going to keep going. Yeah, I'm stuck to the mat. There we go. So then I'm just going to stick that in there. Give it a little push in the center. And kind of fuss with the petals a little bit. Okay, so this is, of course, our last piece. And I'm just gonna, my center didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to, but we're gonna go with it. It may look okay. Once we get it in, just gonna stick it in the center. Of course, it would be better if I didn't have glue on my fingers. I'm just going to push the petals up. And I'm going to put glue on the bottom. And alternate my petals and stick it in the center. Oh, I guess it didn't turn out too bad. Kind of came out a little bit different than the other one. Oh, good night. So that is it for our flowers for tonight, and I will be using more and showing you different ways to use the same dies probably down the road here, because they're a lot of fun to play with. And just so you know, if you are going to use them on a project that like you're going to have around your house, the best thing to do is to buy the spray Deco Art Triple Thick Brilliant Gloss Glaze and lightly spray them. They will not disform your flowers as long as you do light coats. So if you do one light coat, let it dry, do another light coat, let it dry, and just keep adding coats till you get it covered, and you know that when you go to dust it, you're not going to be like breaking petals off or anything. Okay? And that's what I'll be doing this week, is finishing up making the rest of the flowers for my clock. And then I will be back next Sunday at 8 p.m. and we are actually going to add all the flowers I've made to the fairy clock. What is that spray? It is called Deco Art Triple Thick Brilliant Gloss Glaze. You can get it at Michael's. Michael's carries this. It's usually like where the adhesives are. It's an excellent thing if you make paper flowers. It actually helps hold the flower together. And if you're displaying some of your creations, it's easier to clean them and dust them. Okay? So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I will see you next Sunday, and we will alter the clock. Are there any questions? Here, let me move my flowers back out here so you can see. And I'll be adding the leaves and all that stuff to all these flowers. So I have a little menagerie of pretties. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and I will see you next week or on Facebook, one or the other. Have a good night.